Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to experience a very, very unique podcast format featuring a panel of everyday cigar smokers from around the world. Grab your favorite cigar, your favorite beverage, and buckle your seatbelts because you have entered the Looney Bin. Each week, we'll bring you a special podcast that will feature fun, informative, and sometimes ridiculous topics. We are the Cigar Loons, after all. We will also bring you special guests that span the industry from top influencers to manufacturers. You name it, we'll bring it to you. It is the leaf that has brought us all together and has brought you here tonight. Your comments and questions are always welcome as you get to know this cast of loony cigar smokers. We have all types, from the front porch cowboy to our steward of all things spirits, to our resident conspiracy theory expert, to members of our special operations division. And we cannot forget our ginger grizzly bear, who is our resident super palate with a funny accent, as well as a whole cast of characters that will be bouncing in and out each week. So sit back and enjoy the show. And remember, you don't have to be crazy to be a cigar loon, but it helps. With that, let's get this party started.
And good evening, and welcome, of course, to the Cigar Loons podcast. Of course, it is a recorded show. This one is for our audience because we're going to be live on Friday with, of course, Seat at the Table, and that is going to be, of course, on our normal YouTube live, but it's going to be on Friday, and that's going to be the 21st of June. It's, of course, at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard, 5 p.m. Central. And Jess, what time is it going to be for anyone on your side of the woods, my brother?
For us, it would be, 2 o'clock?
Yeah, so 2 o'clock for your side. And
2 o'clock on the Pacific.
Yeah, and 11 p.m., of course, England time. But, yeah, so we thought we'd do this one. We thought we'd do this one, so you got something to watch on your Tuesday night, and we got together. And Kate, loving the hat, my brother, with West Hamper on. Is that a new one, yeah? Is that a new one?
Excellent, my friend. Excellent.
Just a little modification for the podcast.
And guess what I've got? I've got the Cigar Loons' very first prototype cigar made. The very first prototype. So yeah,
very nice.
What's the space? What's the space for this one? Hey, that's a nice pussy. What a nice pussy.
Florida, man, Florida.
Hey, just so you're aware, when I listen to the podcast back, I listen to it on Spotify. I don't get the visual.
So you don't know that was a kitten, huh?
I'm just saying, for everyone listening to this podcast on Spotify, Grumpy just held up a kitten.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, of course.
I'm Grumpy, and I agree with that. Whatever this message I agree with this message. However they do that, go show you ain't no politician. You know, I concur with this comment. There we go.
What's everyone pulled out tonight, Smack? Of course. What cigars are you smoking?
I got the West Tampa Boulevard. Boliche Boulevard.
I got the AJ Fernandez San Lotano Requiem.
Right. And Grumpo, what have you pulled out tonight?
Tonight I got the Intemperance from Roma Craft. Nice. Hello, Roma Craft.
Yeah. So I know.
Check your email
before we. Yeah, check your email. Come on, the Cigar Loons. Be a guest, please. Come on, be a guest. I know, of course, before we started, kid, we'd spoken on about West Ham and that cigar, and you just kind of shocked me on how much 50 in a box that is. So, for our audience, how much is that in a box and about the cigar?
Yeah, this was a limited edition from West Tampa. It's a 6x60. Wrapper, binder, and filler are undisclosed. The only information they have out there is that the tobacco was sourced through the Oliva factory. They did a limited edition, 500 boxes of 50. So 50 cigars per box. I think it retails for $6.29, and I think I saw it on Famous today, a box of 50 of them for $5.49. So.
Holy shit! Holy shit!
That's that's a quite a bit.
That makes me look at that one I've got in there in my little jar a whole lot different.
And I just want to put a shout out to Ricky Rodriguez of West Tampa Cigars, who sent me this cigar. Grumpy's got them as well.
Exactly.
So I appreciate it. This Belache, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Belache Boulevard is actually named after. There's a street in Tampa, and I know this street. It's called Columbus Avenue, and there's several Cuban and Mexican type cuisine restaurants on that street. It's pretty famous. There's a lot of good restaurants on that street. So the boliche is actually a Cuban dish. It's beef, round eye of beef stuffed with ham and served with rice. It's a Cuban dish, so that's what it's named after.
Nice.
The band looks pretty cool. It's got a map of West Tampa around it on the backside here. Sorry.
Yeah, but of
Pretty
course,
cool.
we already know anyway with Ricky anyway. Ricky, of course, has got Cuban descendant in him. And I think also his business partner at West Tampa, he's also got some Cuban native in him as well. So, of course, putting a name together with that is brilliant. But as people have seen on our Instagram, on the Cigar Loons Instagram, they would have seen, of course, the cigars that you had, Kate, and what Grumpy had. And, of course, the West Tampa stickers, the lighter, of course, the West Tampa cigars, and also Rick's picks are the CAOs. And there's the lighter, of course, what Grumpy's shown. I absolutely love that design. You know something, the red and the design on it sticks out.
It does. Pops nicely.
What have you both enjoyed out of course, Ricky's parcel, or Ricky sent you? What's been the most outstanding bit about that parcel?
Grumpy, you can go first on this one.
Well, I haven't worked my way through, and I know, there's a couple that we haven't because we're going to do together. But from the ones that I have had, I don't know. It's hard, man. That West Tampa red in that Lancero is just that right there that's like a smooth operator right there, man. It's just it's just right. It's right in that groove, and and then of course in that in the Rick's picks, like last night, I've been wanting to try that Sessions ever since it came out, and I've never got the opportunity. And then I got it in that, it came into Rick's picks, and I had that last night, and that thing is it's a solid cigar, and it's like any other. When it gets to the back third, the pepper amps up a little bit, but the thing about that Sessions is it had the cedar, but it also had a citrus thing in it, man. That was something totally different to my taste. And yeah, I was enjoying that. you know. So
it's funny.
really, right
How you
now,
pulled that.
the sessions right now.
Yeah, but it's funny how you just pulled that one out. It's funny how you pulled that cigar out because Kurt smoked it last night. So of course, getting Kurt's take on that cigar now as well, because both of you smoked it, and of course you said about one of the cigars that we're going to do the review on, which is going to be, of course, the CAO Bones that we're going to do a
Right.
review on. So you're going to catch
Right.
us doing that very soon. So make sure you keep your eyes open for that. But on another note, of course, we've seen the pictures and seen, of course, the posts on Instagram. Yesterday, Harvey and Cigar Aficionado announced West Tampa were bringing out the Lanceros. And of course, Kurt and Grumpy have managed to smoke the Lanceros. Me personally, I've had the Robustos. Kurt, of course, has tried the Toro. So, Kurt, before we go on to what you got with the sessions, what did you reckon on the difference between the Lancero of the West Tampa original line and then, of course, the Toro original line? Which size did you like the best, the Toro, or would you say now the Lancero?
Well, I'm gonna, and you and I have talked about this, and you know how I feel, and I'm just gonna make it public. I'm a little bit upset with you because in the past, the way you talk down the Lancero, it doesn't stay lit, and it's you don't get a full cigar, brother.
Pew, 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 pew.
I smoked that. Only Lancero I've smoked because I've been saving them because I savored that baby. The only Lancero that I smoked of those three, the white, red, and black, I smoked the white, and it was so flavorful.
Man, wasn't it though?
I have the black in the Toro and the Lancero, so I'm going to smoke them back to back, a day apart, and just see, But I just, for whatever reason, and I know the reason, it's binder's binder. You're gonna have a binder around a cigar, but there's less filler in there, and you get more of that wrapper. And I just really, really found that West Tampa White very enjoyable.
Yeah, and of course with the West Tampa White, it's an Habano pink wrapper that it, of course, uses. And you know something, I enjoyed that white in my coffee. I was really shocked at how the cigar smoked, but also the fact of it having that nice bit of pepper too, because as we know, when you look at wrappers, especially the colouring of them, you would have thought, oh, it looks a bit like a Connecticut. But to be honest with you, it's not. It's an Habano pink, and it's got that pepper. And I know we're talking to you, Grump. You enjoyed that cigar as well when you were smoking it.
It's pretty. It's pretty to look at, but man, it's good to smoke too. That wrapper has got that kind of a light hue to it. It's just it's just a very nice, well constructed too. Feels good in the hand. And those Lancero, and I've got the black left too, so I hadn't got to that black one yet. But those things,
7x40, and mine burnt perfectly all the way down.
Exactly.
Put it on my nub tool, and man, I could have had another one. It was so good.
Yeah, man. That's those two right there, and it's been a long time since I've had a Lancero, but those two right there have almost ruined me. I mean, because just the flavor difference, it's just, to me, was a lot different. It's because just for that fact, you're experiencing more of that wrapper, and and it's been a long time, but I tell you what, those two right there kind of spoiled me.
And for me, I'm sorry, guys. For me, so much so, when I'm looking at cigars now, I'm looking to see if they have a Lancero. I'm like, I know you're not gonna want to hear it, Gaz, but I'm kind of moving that direction, brother. And then it's delightful.
You know something?
Really?
I've had Lanceros, but with yours and Grumpy's take on West Tampa, if it comes to the UK market, which I've got a funny feeling it will do anyway.
I'm telling marketers need to go somewhere.
So I should Yeah, you tell them, Grump. You tell them go fuck themselves. Don't they know in a podcast? You tell them. But yeah, I'm hoping, of course,
they know who I am? I mean, don't they know? Don't they know who I am?
We do apologise for this podcast getting yourself in the building, but you are in the Cigar Loons, of course.
No, you don't.
15 minutes in. Here we go.
You encourage this behavior. You know you do.
Come out and play.
Don't worry.
Chit.
Jesse, what is your take on the Lancero?
Oh, here we go. Let's team up on Gaz. Let's team up on Gaz.
You know, there's some Lanceros out there that I do enjoy. That I also know Gus enjoys. But there's some out there that I don't like. Like I just had the punch chop suey, and that's in a Lancero, and it was just too much of the wrapper in the sense of it wasn't like too much of the wrapper. It was just like the wrapper was just not the best, in my opinion. Therefore, the Lancero on that one was not great. Yeah.
Bummer, man, because punch is usually on target.
No, I was really disappointed.
I mean,
and realistically,
messing, but that'd be disappointing because I like punch. You know.
I love me some punch, and that's probably the first one that I can think of that I didn't like, and it's the only one out of their whole Chinese food thing that I didn't like, because all the other ones are fantastic smokes.
Yeah, they got one.
Something it's like. Way up you go. Go on, Grump. Get what you say. Go on, Grump. Go on. Now he's lost his
about punch. Damn you. You know I'm old. You know you shouldn't do that. Anyway, punch has got they have, and I can't. It's a puro of some sort, and I can't remember. It's called the Champion. And it was the only thing they made. It was in like a 4x60, but it was like a figurado that it had like a 50 ring gauge, foot. Then it bulbed out into a 60 bulb, and then it came back down into like a 46 back end there. It was like a 4.5 inch long thing. Those were really, really good, and I found them, and that was like $180 something for a box of them, and it's like, gee,
that's not bad at all.
Yeah, but man, I had to wreck a budget for about 3 months, so just saying.
Something. There is good Lanceros out, right? There is some that I've found that I've struggled my arse off with. But you know something? I enjoy the Anastasia by Caldwell. Yes, it's a Lancero. I found it to be awkward to smoke, but it smoked good, and I enjoyed the cigar. Of course, I can also make some that have been cigars that I've had. Mm-hmm. But I will definitely go and try West Tampa when West Tampa's come out to here in the UK and give them a whirl, because you've got to try every cigar, especially every size, and see the difference in the tobacco. Of course, we know it's going to be different. But something came to my head, and I'm going to say it. So, of course, you're not about too much. You're not about too much wrapper on the cigar. It's like having too much foreskin. You end up getting it chopped off, don't you? In the end. So there you go.
Oh, I don't know about if that's the case with that chop suey though. That has no foreskin. It's got a what they call a shaggy foot.
Oh, that's a sexual disease.
Yeah, run through the jungle, baby. Run through the jungle.
I don't know if you can see this on there, but the entire Chinese line that they put out has a shaggy foot.
Okay.
So about this much of it in the beginning, you're getting nothing but filler and binder and no wrapper.
That could be good. That could be not good.
Let's go back, of course, to the cigar that you smoked last night, Grump. And, of course, Kurt smoked it. So, Kurt, what did you get from smoking, of course, the CEO sessions? What did you get to taste like?
Out of the ones that I've smoked the CAO so far, there's the Bones, which we're saving. I haven't smoked the Brasilia.
I've had that
one. The Palone.
Had that one.
I like the Palone. And
what
was the other one?
The Flathead.
Yeah, Flathead.
Flathead.
Oh yeah, the Flathead. Yeah.
The Flathead was good, but the one I've liked so far the best is that CAO session, and it was very unique. I did get a little bit of citrus in it, and I kind of also got some cinnamon, but and those were kind of secondary notes. But the primary notes that I got out of it was earthy. There was some leather, and the wood in there I felt was very unique. It was like, for me, it was like a mesquite, but it was more like I guess the way to describe it would be like a smoked barbecue, like it was mixed with the meat flavors. It was just very unique, the wood flavor I got out of that. One that I haven't experienced like that. So yeah, I enjoyed that. That's probably my favorite so far of the ones I've smoked.
Yeah, I'm hoping there's both of you enjoy the Bones, because I've smoked the Bones, and I found that cigar to be out of this world when I smoked it, and I really enjoyed it. And you know something? You've only got to look at what Ricky's done with CAO, what he's done with West Tampa, when you've got the Amazon Basin that he's made, of course, the Mortal Coil, many of the others that he put his fingers to blending. He's a master. He's a master of his work. And of course, an exclusive that's going to be coming soon, we've got a show coming, and Ricky's coming back. So make sure to keep your eyes out. You would have seen a sneak little pic with Kurt and Grumpy when they posted it. But keep your eyes open. It is coming. And there'll be more on that when we come to it. But there was a subject that was brought up today, guys, that I want to go over. And I saw it on TikTok. I'm not going to mention no names, because that's not me. But do you reckon it's the Liga Pavard? Yeah, I'm being on my good behavior tonight. Do you reckon?
Don't mind these people.
Oh,
okay.
Trump,
the bollocks, man. Do we reckon what? Ask us. Do we reckon what?
Right. Do you reckon there's the H99 by Liga Pavard should be in the same category as the Liga 9 and the T50 and the T52 or T54? Do you reckon there's the H99 should be in the same category? Because don't forget, it's a different wrapper. It's a different wrapper and a different cigar.
I can't speak to it because the only one that I've smoked is the Liga 9. So I don't know.
I can't say. I've had absolutely none of them.
From the Liga.
Go on, Jess. See what you got to say, my brother.
I was just saying that from the Liga series, the only one that I've had is what I had last night, the Nasty Frida. Yep. And that one, I enjoyed that one, but that one is it's a combination of the number 9 and the T52.
Yep. The T52 and the Liga 9, of course, we know straight away. They were blended and made, of course, by Steve Saka and Nick Manillo at Foundation Cigars. And of course, the Liga T52, when we look at the cigar and we look up the makeup of that cigar and what it involves, we pretty much know what the wrapper is. We know, of course, on the Liga 9, it is, of course, the broadleaf wrapper. When you look at, of course, the teas are made with a sun-grown Connecticut Habano wrapper. And, of course, 7 different fillers in the tobacco on that. Now, it's a hard one to say because I've smoked both and I've really enjoyed them. And they're a different tasting cigar, of course. And we know straight away, Connecticut Valley River, anything that comes out of there is brilliant, wrapper-wise. Of course, Brazilian binder with fills from Nicaragua and Honduras. That, of course, is the T52. Now, on the H99, this is where it kind of pissed me off. Because, you know something, it's still a cigar, and it's a great cigar, and it's on. But it's a Connecticut Corojo wrapper. Now, to me, saying there's anything with Connecticut shouldn't be in the same category as the Liga 9 and the Liga T52. What a fucking bunch of douchebags for saying it. Because that's another cigar you're saying shouldn't be in that lineup. To me, it's a Liga Privada cigar. It's got Liga Privada next to it, and it's made at the Drew Estate factory, same as the other Ligas. You can't say that should have never been brought out and shouldn't be put in a different category and shouldn't be a Liga because of the wrapper on it. Seriously? It's like turning around and saying, oh shit, I'm going to say it. There's basically the Metallica M81 is a strong smoking cigar full of pepper. Yeah, okay, I've smoked a shitload of them. I have. Yeah. And then saying this basically they should have never brought out. Yeah, but it's like saying this they should have never brought out the Shade to Black, the F84. I'm sorry to say, but hang on a minute, that cigar's a different ride totally because of the wrapper. And everyone enjoys something different. That's the thing. So if you're saying there's someone's not going to enjoy the H99, they're going to enjoy, of course, the Liga 9 more or the T52 more. But that's my take on that. And you know something? Don't diss a cigar, because if you diss a cigar, it's going to get out through the whole cigar community. And, of course, it's going to get to the companies, and the companies are going to go to you and say, well, hang on a minute, what's your problem with our cigar? And this is the thing. A lot of hard work goes into it. It does.
Well, you know.
Okay, you've muted yourself, my brother.
I'm sorry. I think for whatever reason, the Connecticut Shade wrapper, when you get someone who's very passionate about cigars or smokes as many cigars as we do, that type of person likes what they like. But I think the Connecticut Shade wrapper, I still smoke Connecticut's. I love Connecticut's, and it's the time of day I'm smoking. If I just kind of want to take it easy on my palate that day, I love a Connecticut. And that S84 Shade to Black, I absolutely love that cigar. And it's no secret here among us, I don't like the M81. It's just too strong for me. It's just, I don't want to say it's too strong, but just something about it that just really, I don't know. I didn't enjoy it. And I've smoked several of them, gave it more than a chance. But there's lots of Connecticut ones. And I think when you think about the average cigar smoker, I think we're kind of on that, I don't want to say upper level, but that extreme, because we smoke a lot of cigars. We smoke every single day, sometimes 2 a day, gas sometimes 6 a day, you know. So I don't think that's the average cigar smoker. And the average cigar smoker, the Connecticut's are popular. They sell.
They are,
There's a reason they're still growing that, and there's a reason it's still out there. It's because they sell a ton of it, you know. So I don't know who said it, but for someone to say that it, Connecticut wrapper, that's just being, just not thinking the whole big picture of everything. And that's just my opinion. I don't know who said it. And that's their opinion. They're entitled to it.
Yeah.
But I just, like I say, with someone that enjoys a medium to medium plus cigar, I do love my Connecticut's as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
It's like what he was saying. His his flavor profile is not, you know, like the strong dark cigar like the M81, you know. And for me, I'm the opposite, right? I love a dark full body cigar. Um, normally the lightest thing I go to is a Habano wrapper, but there are Connecticut's out there that I do enjoy because not every
Yep.
cigar is the same. So just to say, oh, it's a Connecticut wrapper, I don't want it. It's that's wrong because the flavor of that cigar is not going to be the same as whatever other Connecticut you had.
Yep. You know something on Connecticut? I've always said I managed to smoke it and I really enjoyed it, and that was the My Father Connecticut. Everyone needs to try it.
Mm-hmm.
There's great Connecticut's out. You look at Cornwall with what they do with Connecticut. They're good. Any company who uses Connecticut know what they're doing, and that's why they sell. It's the same
I
as
mean,
when we
Alec
look at the
Bradley.
yeah. Look at the Infuse show when we did the Infuse show. People, of course, say, "Oh, Infused aren't good cigars," but look at some of the wrappers on them that they use and different things, and how they sell. People go from smoking infused cigars to Connecticut or Habano wrappers, then they move up. Connecticut's a
Yep.
good starter for people to smoke. You shouldn't badmouth a wrapper. Okay, you can have your opinion, but when you have your opinion, some of these opinions are badmouth, and we
Yeah.
can't be having that in this market because you badmouth a cigar, that's going to put someone down the line away from smoking that cigar and trying it. And to me, I'll be honest, and I'll say, you know what, I smoked it. Wasn't for my palate because I'm a stronger smoker. That was too mild for me,
Hmm.
or
Tania.
it didn't have this taste in the cigar that I wanted. And that's the thing of what you do when you're smoking cigars. You try and give a honest opinion, not
Yeah.
badmouth the cigar. But anyway, because we've come
Hey, I
to
just
32
one more
minutes
thing
into the
before you,
show. Yep, one good.
just one more thing before you move on. I have an announcement to make. I did start my from our Infuse show. I officially started my experiment. I'm in day 2 of a orange creamsicle cigar. I've got a blood orange infusion with pure vanilla extract going, and I'll let you know in about 3 weeks how that turns out.
Cool.
I'll be
And I'll
sure
be
and
on
remember
there to
so I
find
can
out about
ask
it.
you about that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm definitely going to be very intrigued on how that's going to be.
So, of course, what we're going to do now, because we've come into 32 minutes in the show, we've got a unique little section in this kind of show. So, we're going to go, of course, to Jess. And Jess, what's this new section that we're going to be bringing up, my brother, onto, of course, the Cigar Loons podcast? And what are you going to be
So
talking
this
about?
new, so this
Yes, sir.
new section, so this new section is, it's going to be about the budget friendly cigars. There's a bad stigma out there that if you smoke cigars, they have to be expensive. It's a luxury thing for rich folks, and it's not. Cigars are for everybody, and there's a broad range of cigars out there that all the manufacturers put out that come in different price ranges, and that's what we're going to talk about right now.
That's right.
So here I got 5 cigars that are all under $10, that are all fantastic sticks from companies that we all know. Uh, Here we got the La Vieja Habana. Okay, this is from Drew Estate, and it is a $5 cigar. A fabulous smoke. Great for that medium to full body person. Um, then we got here. Let's see. My father's, and my father's great company, great cigars. And here we got my father's Tobacco's Bees.
Yep.
And this Toro here is about $4. So I mean, you can't beat that. $4 from the Chinese food cigars. Which, by the way, all the punch Chinese food cigars and all the Chinese New Year ones that came out with the Dragon Fire stuff, all of them are all under $10. And the I got here the egg roll, and the punch egg roll comes in their bento box, and like I said, it's $5. And one that I love this cigar here. I love this cigar. I smoke it all the time, and it is from our friends Partagas. And this guy here, it's what is this? Is like $8 cigar, and it's done in a barber pole. This is their añejo, and I haven't had a bad Partagas really. Um, and the very last but not least for today, which this one is right on the borderline of the $10, uh, literally a penny, 9.99. You get the Espinosa War Zone.
Jeez.
Okay. Delicious stick. And like I said, every single one of all these sticks, including the one that I'm smoking right now, the AJ Fernandez Santa Lotano, every single one is under $10. So you don't have to break the piggy bank. You don't have to go into your savings to enjoy a good cigar. You could have a great quality cigar from great reputable companies and enjoy just as much as if it was a $60 cigar.
Yeah. And that's good. You know something? It's good this we can do this little section and bring these cigars out to people and tell them this. Look, you don't have to go and smoke a $70 cigar, an $80 cigar.
Yeah.
There is cigars that are out for everyone's budget. And it doesn't matter if you're a farmer, it doesn't matter if you're a mechanic, a doctor, a lawyer, whatever. There is cigars out for everyone to afford and smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I like that you're doing this section, because we don't have a thing like that here in the UK. As you know, cigars are a very expensive hobby here. Yeah,
I'd quit
unfortunately,
smoking.
I can afford
If I had to live over there, I'd quit.
And Jesse,
Yeah, but
these are all from your.
This.
Go ahead, Jesse.
This is an affordable cigar. This is affordable cigar. Trust me. More will come out eventually about it, but it's affordable. Put it that way. It's affordable.
Go ahead, Kurt. I think I know where you were going with that, but go ahead.
These are all from your local shop there in Washington State, correct?
That's correct. This is here in Washington State. I mean, right in the middle of the state. And you know, the funny is that over here where I'm at, there really isn't any like a lot of brick and mortar. It's really just a lot of smoke shops that deal with everything else. Uh, and we have a cigar lounge here. So realistically, for how scarce and how little cigars there is here, you would think the prices would be higher, but they're really not. So the reality of going to a place that has a lot of brick and mortar places, like a big city or something like that, you're probably going to go around the same price, maybe a little lower.
Very interesting, yeah.
And of course, we're going to be doing this kind. Go on, Grump. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say Kurt was going where I was going because, as we know, the prices may vary a little for us depending on what region we're in, what state we're in, state taxes being different, things of that nature. You may have a little variation in those prices, but still, it's not going to be such a difference. It's not going to be such a difference that it's going to make the price point, bad for anything you're talking about. It's still a deal, but it may vary $1 or $2 depending on where you're at.
Well, and you got to remember here in Washington State, we have very high taxes. I mean, the taxes here are ridiculous. So, if you're somewhere else like the Midwest or down south or something, you're probably going to get a better deal than I'm getting.
Gee, okay, good deal.
I just want to say one more thing on this. I'm sorry, guys. Just one more thing. I appreciate this because I appreciate this segment that we're doing, because when you smoke as many cigars as we do, you pretty much you have to have that budget stick in your line to be able to smoke that many cigars. It's for the average individual out there, the average income individual smoking as much as we do. You got to have your favorite budget sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, absolutely. And and if you go to your brick and mortar or to your smoke shop, and if you take your eyes and just look down just a little bit, you don't have to go to the floor, but just look down a little bit. You're gonna find some great sticks down there that are not gonna break the wallet at all.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And this, of course, is going to be a regular basis as we're going to bring out this into the podcast, where, of course, Jess will be doing a review on different cigars that he can get and that are in your budget. And this is going to be the thing. But, Grump, is the eighth round or flat, my brother?
Do you want me to use common sense and critical thinking, or do you want me to use the book that I go by? I mean, I don't have all those verses memorized, but there are many of them.
This is the subject that we should have been doing when we went down the rabbit hole.
And I would like to say that, while we hadn't even, we know it always comes up in conversation because we always carrying on about it. But we had also talked about doing a part 2 of that Down the Rabbit Hole podcast that we did. And part 2 was, we do a part 2, that will be one of the topics. I promise.
Yeah, it will.
We didn't get
that
to it on
unicorns.
the first. Huh?
I said that and unicorns.
Well, now we're getting down another subject. Unicorns.
Do you know what the real unicorn is? And it'll blow your mind. But if you go back and you search back into history, do you know what the real unicorn is?
It was a single horn rhinoceros.
Exactly.
There's 2 types of rhinoceros, and there's one that has the 2 horns and 1 horn. Yep, I know.
It's a single horn rhinoceros, man. That's your unicorn.
I'm a smart one here.
Yeah, there you go. He's a smart one.
There's another thing for unicorn as well.
Yeah.
Basically, a unicorn in a woman that you can't get as a magical creature that's a unicorn sexually. And of course, we all know Kate has a secret follower. That's a bear, and Kate wants him to rub his chest there. Hey, Kate.
Gotta use some bacon grease for that, though.
Oh no! I told you got to use some good rub and rub your cigar good. You got to get some good rubbing on that. Yeah, like we said on the Cigar Loons, some good cigar rub.
That's what we're coming out with next. Cigar Loons pork butt rub.
Cigar salve.
Oh.
Got just enough pepper and spice in it. Just enough. Take a
Flavored, flavored cigar salad. Get it
Make
right
a
here.
you make a spicy one, and then you make the Kurt version, no spicy.
But of course, for anyone
Mm.
who doesn't know, we're pretty much now booked up with guests until, of course, September, and we've got some
Mm.
unique guests coming. So,
Yes.
without giving too much away about who we've got coming, which month are you guys looking forward to of these guests that we've got coming?
Oh
Which
man.
month would you say?
Oh, I can't say that there's one month that I am more excited than the other. I mean, we have some great people coming, and I'm just in general stoked about having them on the show and getting to know them more. And yeah, so don't miss out. Don't miss out our next few podcasts here in the next couple months because there are going to be some good ones.
Oh yeah, Kate. What about you, my brother? Are you looking forward to seeing in,
Um,
of course,
you know
which
what?
month?
I am. I really can't. I don't. I really don't want to say a month. I don't want to narrow it down to that because I'm very grateful. And we've been doing this podcast, 8 months now? And to have the guests that we've had, I am just absolutely blown away. I am grateful to
Oh
each
yeah.
and every one of them, the time that they give us, the amount of information, inside information that we've gained just
Mm-hmm.
through conversation on the podcast. I love every single one of them. I look forward to every one of them, as well as
Yep.
I do, an episode like this where we're just, shooting the breeze and
Yep.
poking the
Mm-hmm.
bear up there.
Brr. What about you, Grump? What are you looking forward to
Uh,
with what we've got coming?
really, bro, I tell you, I would almost have to echo Kurt if it wasn't so cliche to do so, or plagiarizing or whatever, copying his speech. But still, uh, when we started this thing out, I don't really think any of us had any idea where we would be at this
Mm-hmm.
short a time into it. I mean,
Yeah.
we have been truly blessed with top notch guests. We always manage to come out with interesting and educating content. Uh, it's I don't know. Sometimes it's unreal when you stop and think, that we're
Oh yeah.
actually doing these things and the things
Yeah.
we've
Oh
got
yeah.
coming ahead of us. That down the road, it's like Kurt said, it you don't want to narrow anything down because it's wide open to us. You
Oh yeah.
know, the only limitations that I see ahead of us is our own creativity and our own originality, our own desire to keep reaching out there and bringing out you know, original content.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's easy to copy and paste.
Yep.
You know,
That's right.
it's easy to do that stuff. But you looking at a team that puts in the work, puts in the effort, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and goes out to get these quality guests so that we do keep our content fresh and original and educational, along
Yeah.
with
Oh yeah.
the entertainment. You got to throw a little entertainment in there. You got to keep it light. I don't want to be stuffy for an hour.
You
Nobody
gotta be
wants
a,
that. But
gotta
But
have a
Kate,
I
little
feel like
grumpy.
yeah, I feel like we've been very blessed with where we're at, man. And I can't I
Kate,
can't narrow I can't narrow anything down. The only thing I can say is just you know like it, subscribe, and be sure you get notified when we come on, especially for the next
Mm-hmm.
2 to 3 months. You know
oh yeah.
that
If I
that's
could,
Oh
all I
yeah.
can say is like it, subscribe to it, whatever, just so you get notified, because you don't want to miss the next 2-3 months.
If I could say, if I could add one more thing to that, Gaz, and then you can answer your
Yeah.
own question. I'd like to hear your take on it too. But for me, I think, and I don't want to say that I'm not tooting anybody's horn or anything. I listen to a lot of podcasts and I get a lot of great information. But I think one thing that that makes us special or unique is we're everyday cigar smokers, and it's just our opinions, whether you agree with us or not. We're having a
Exactly.
good time smoking a cigar. It's just like the same. This right here is what we do on a weekly night in our Discord. We're just shooting the breeze, talking about cigars, and I think that resonates with the everyday cigar smoker. They're looking for something out there that they can identify with and help them grow, down their cigar journey. So and one other thing, I will tell you one thing: we are consistent. Every single week we're here, whether we got 2 viewers or 100. We love putting on a show, and it's something that all of us are truly passionate about. So,
yes, sir.
what are you looking forward to, brother?
Well, first things first, Kate. I think you need to get Grumpy to sign a non-disclosure form, nicking your ideas. Just non-disclosure. Let me get that sorted. I'll draw you one up tomorrow. Grump, make sure you sign it. Non-disclosure. Non-disclosure.
What did I give up? What secret did I give up?
You're just nicking Kate's ideas, my brother, and saying the same thing as Kate. So non-disclosure.
Yeah, he just happened to go. I just happened to go before him.
But
great minds, man. They work together. What can I say?
Yeah, but you're all right. You know something? With what you've said, we are consistent. We're here every single night with a podcast. Okay, we changed it up maybe where it's a Friday for the guest, but we are consistent every week because we've got a show coming out. And I've always said we were the innovators. When we started, we had that vision of we want to bring a podcast out, have it out every week. It'd be fun, informative for newer cigar smokers as well as seasoned cigar smokers. Then, of course, we are the invaders of the cigar world. We have invaded. And you know something, with what we've done within 8 months, coming up to 9, we have brought some great shows out. We've had some great guests. And I don't want to take it away from the guests that we've got coming. But you look at the likes of course, of David, Femi Picarillo. When we did the live launch, of course, of the Encore Black. You look at Terence O'Reilly of I Can Also Leaf. You look at Ricky Rodriguez of West Tampa. Angel Ramirez. Every single guest we've had come on, they've brought content to this. They've told us secrets that we didn't know. The real people to talk to. And it's not the same kind of podcast or the same kind of show that you've seen on Instagram where, so this is my cigar. This is when I started. This is that. The same stuff. We ask different questions and get different answers. Now, coming where we are now, coming into July, of course, August, September, we've got some brilliant guests coming. And I'm excited about seeing all of them because they're all unique. Of course, people already know we've got, of course, Hiram and Solomon coming. People know, of course, we've got Trident Cigars coming. People know, of course, we've got Cigars for Beginners coming, which, of course, you can check out them dates. But we've also got some hidden surprises coming. And these hidden surprises that we've got coming, like Grumpy said, you need to like, subscribe, and share it because you know something. We are doing this for you. We are bringing this content out for you. And we're so fortunate enough that they want to come on the Cigar Loons podcast, be with us. And it is a lot of hard work. It's a lot of hard work. And the group we've got, we work our balls off to do this. And people want to people want to copy. People want to be jealous. People want to be how they are of what they want to do and follow the same kind of routine. But you know something? We started, and what people are now doing is a shadow of what the Cigar Loons are doing. And the thing is, you guys are my co-hosts. Matthew's one of our co-hosts, so big shout out to Matthew, of course, Vital on Proof. And Matthew brings, of course, spirits. You, Jess, are bringing the fact of cigars that people can afford on a regional basis. Kurt sits there, of course, in the intro, getting the t-shirt ready. Grumpy, of course, the website. Me, my work behind the scenes is doing the podcast, doing the stills, getting in touch with some of the people like you guys do. But you know something? It's not just one person. This unit that we've got and this brotherhood, we all work to make this show better. And this is the good thing.
Oh yeah.
I just sit here, man. I just
You
I just hang out down here in my
put in
corner.
work. You gotta put in the work, and you gotta go out there and look for that content, because if you want to stick around and listen to a podcast about a cigar brand that's been around for 100 years, that's great. But we also like to talk about all the new companies that are coming up, that are growing in this industry, that put out amazing stuff like Drunk Chicken. And you know you really, really, really gotta go out there, do your research, and look at what there is, so you can find these new companies, so you could try their cigars and try and bring them out there into the public, so everybody else can enjoy them.
But the thing is, when we started this, then I know, of course, Jess, you came later on, and we really appreciate your brotherhood and your friendship.
I appreciate being here.
Yeah, and you know something? This was always a passion of Kurt's, Grumpy's, mine, Matthew's. Is we want to talk about boutique cigars, and we were the ones to start doing this. Now, of course, you see other people that want to bring in boutique and talk about boutique, but we really started that market. And you know something? Yes, everybody knows the likes, of course, of Padron, J.C. Newman, Arturo Fuente.
Oh yeah,
Of course, the bigger ones. They don't know about
yeah.
the boutique ones. And go to PCA, like we mentioned before. The PCA, all the big companies are shoved out in front, like Gurkha and different ones that you see. You have to really look at your map to find the likes of Big Sky Cigar Company, or the look of Protocol, or Sinestro, or whoever, boutique-wise. You've got to really look at that map to find them, because their store is so small. And if we can blow them up by putting them on the podcast and talking about their company and their cigars, it's basically someone in America who's never tried their cigars is going to pick it up. There's a sale for them.
Yep.
It's someone who's going to be interested. It helps the brand. And this is the thing. I was always big on boutique here when I started smoking cigars and started trying them. And then, of course, finding more out about cigars. Now, of course, being 15 years down the line of smoking cigars, I've tried a lot. I've tried the bigger companies. I've tried the boutique companies. And you know something? The boutique companies are pulling out cigars that beat some of the big companies. Look, of course, at Foundation again. Let's get on that Foundation route. What Nick's brought out with the Tabernacle, with the Charter Oak, the Ascom, that, of course, used to be a different name that we won't mention. Then, of course, the Allmac. He's bringing out some great sticks for people to try. He keeps coming out with different ones. And now, these big companies are looking behind their back, and they're seeing the boutique brands taking off. And it's just going to carry on going. But let's go down.
One of the greatest things about the boutiques is, like, somebody brings in a cigar you've never seen, you've never heard of, and you smoke it, and you fall in love, and now you want to know everything about that company.
Yeah. But let's go down a different route. TikTok. What's everybody think about the amount of bans and content being taken off by TikTok? Because as we know, I'd done the review for Viking Picks, which of course we had on the podcast, and I posted on TikTok a little review on there. I also posted the review off YouTube, and it got taken down. And then, of course, I got a warning: post anything more related like this, it's going to be a lifetime ban. So what do you reckon on TikTok's process and what they're doing? Do you reckon
it's
harsh on what they're doing, or do you reckon they're doing the right thing? What's your take on it?
I think so. It's definitely a computer system that does it, and it there is really no rhyme or reasoning for how they do what, when, and where. There's things that you and Grumpy have posted that I have, reposted, and they leave it on for you guys. They'll take it off of mine, and vice versa. It's just
Mhm.
there's no. I don't see the pattern, because if it's like, okay, you shouldn't actively smoke a cigar on the video. Okay, I have videos that are up that they never took down in which I'm actively smoking. So I don't understand their process. It seems really random and just irritating as hell.
Well, when you can openly, knowingly, and purposely sit there and flop one out there and feed your baby
Hmm.
on TikTok, not a thing said, hundreds, thousands of likes, millions of views, whatever. But I can't sit here and enjoy a cigar. Mine gets 25, 38, 42. You know, tell me
And
where's the you know where's the focus there?
what I've noticed is that the bigger guys, um, which there's not really a whole lot of them when it comes to cigars. There's just a little handful of them on TikTok, but I've noticed that the bigger guys don't really go through this trouble, and I think it's just because they have so much going on already
Yeah,
that
they're pulling
TikTok
in
is
money.
yeah. So TikTok is just allowing it. It's just like, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. But then if you're not that big,
Yeah.
then they make it so hard for you to be able to grow on their platform.
Mm-hmm.
What about your take, Kate? What do you reckon on this with TikTok?
Um, I'm, yeah, I don't even pretend to be even to begin to understand it why it happens. And for whatever reason, I don't think I've ever had one of my videos taken down, and maybe I'm just falling under the radar or what. I don't know what it is, but 90% of my videos, I'm smoking a cigar, and at the last 3 months or so, most of my videos is a full 7-minute cigar review, or I'm smoking the whole thing, telling you, about what I'm
Hmm.
experiencing. I think there's something that's going to happen with TikTok coming down into this summer, this fall. Something's going to change. Whether someone's going to buy it, I don't know all the details on it, but I know this one. I think it was the Senate that passed that bill that someone's got to buy it, or
Yep,
TikTok's
they're
going
pretty
away.
much forcing them. Yep.
So I don't know, but I do think something's going to change, and I think it'll probably change in our favor at that point. So, I really what I enjoy about TikTok when I do a review and when I make a video, I go to TikTok to make it because I like that. I
Hmm.
like their graphics, their platform, and it's easy for me to make a video there. And then I take my once it gets posted, I copy the link, and there's this website. And I don't know if many people know about it, but it's called snaptick.app. And you just go there and you copy your link into there and it'll download it and it will automatically remove the TikTok logo. So I do that. It takes me, 2 minutes to do that. And then I post my post that video on Instagram and on my YouTube channel because let's be honest, most of the cigar smoking community is on Instagram. That's where I get my most views.
Oh God, yeah.
So that's really the only thing that I enjoy about TikTok is the ability to make what I consider a quality video. I can edit it. I'm familiar with that. I could probably do it on Instagram or I could do it on my phone, but I've been doing it on TikTok so long. It's easy for me to do it. I'm very familiar with it. But I do think something's going to change. I don't know if it's going to be the end of this summer, early fall, and I'm just my gut's telling me it's going to fall in our favor. But we'll see what happens with it.
So
Well,
on that one, go on, Jess. You see what you say, and
oh,
then
I
we'll
was
see
just,
what
I was just gonna say, if you want to skip that process of going to a different app like you were doing, um, when you make your video on TikTok, before you post it, you have your little menu here on the right. Click on that and go down, and it'll let you save it. And if you save it before you post it, you don't have that TikTok logo. And then
saves it without the
also,
watermark.
yeah. And then the other thing I was gonna say it was Instagram is fantastic, yes. And when I started the my tobacco juice sticks on Instagram, it was a slow process, but then all of a sudden it just like blew up, and you get all this notifications and followers and all this stuff. But the one thing I don't like about Instagram is that if you do too much, they block you. So for the last 3 days, I wasn't able to follow anybody because as soon as I clicked that, it was just like, oh, we limit
shadow
what
ban.
you can do.
Shadow ban. You
Yeah,
got a shadow ban.
yes. So and it's weird how they block things in random places. Instagram, like I have videos that says, oh, they're banned in Mexico or it's banned in Russia. It's like, it don't make no sense.
See, that's interesting to me because every video I've ever done, originally they were game banned, so I'd have to put, of course, no marijuana, no alcohol involved. Please be over 18 in the UK, over 21 in the
Yep.
United States. Now, the shadow ban, of course, where it stops you from following too many people, is to prove that you're not a robot, because a robot can sit
Right.
there and
Yeah.
go, ding, ding, ding. I like that security wise. But when me and Kurt were talking about this, and I think me and you've gone on about it, Jess, and I think me and Grumpy have gone on about it, of course, where TikTok's got to be brought. I've got a funny feeling that you know something. If it's not Elon Musk, or of course the owner of course, Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, who the hell is going to run it? And I think what would be brilliant is if the guy who owns Facebook and Instagram, if he brought TikTok, it would give us the option then of having 9 people on Instagram, then either 4, or of course, where you got to stream from StreamYard through the app, so you see more people on, like we do, of course, when we do the Cigar Loons podcast. I think that'd be
Yep.
unique. But to be honest with you, I think the algorithms broke when that came out of TikTok. It was a kid-friendly app to post, of course, videos of you dancing or singing. I think what's happened now, a lot of people have seen the popularity in it, especially here in the UK, and a lot of the TikTok users that are on it is all about send me a corgi and I'll communicate with you.
Hmm.
So how they do it is they'll see the name of the person. So Cigar Kurt, send me a corgi and I'll mention your name and I'll give you a follower. Oh, Grumpy, give me a corgi and I'll follow you. Jesse,
Yeah.
Hmm.
give me this gift and I'll follow you. Oh, give me a universe, guys. Come on, help me. And then they'll battle. And as they're battling someone, they keep asking for them gifts. And over here, one of the TikTok followers that we followed a little bit ago, which we unfollowed, they were making anywhere from £60,000 a month, which when you look at it, roughly near enough $75,000 a month that they were making on gifts alone. And it's crazy. And they're sitting there, they're slagging one another off. They've either got, of course, the breast out on show, or they're off naked.
And I unfollowed them.
Yeah, but you know,
Yep.
Rob and Kurt, you know, and I know. Look at fucking Clappy when we were on Clappy. That D&D shit. Holy shit, that was a different place. That was crazy on that side. And I mean, crazy on Clappy. And the thing is,
that's the Wild Wild West, though, baby.
I remember that story that you said you went into a D&D and Grumpy was in there and you couldn't believe it.
Fancy meeting you here.
Kate, I only walked in for 2 minutes and saw Grumpy's feet, and I was like, yeah, I'm out of here. Fuck this, I'm out. I ain't looking at Grumpy's feet again. Uh-oh, here they come. Oh.
There you go.
Now it's gone X-rated. We apologize.
This is not OnlyFans. This is not OnlyFans.
That was a rare glimpse. Normally, you got to go behind the paywall for that. That was a rare.
That's right, baby. You tell them, Kurt. You tell them, buddy. That was a freebie right there, buddy. That's paywall stuff.
And by the way, everyone, this show was taped on a Friday night, so of course, this is coming out for you on Tuesday. That you're going to see.
We'll just give them all our secrets.
But what do you think about films being remade? So, of course, you had the original Mad Maxes. Now, of course, you've got Feroza Mad Max. They keep remaking, of course, King Kong. They keep remaking Godzilla in different films.
Gosh.
What's your take on remakes of films? I think they should leave
I hate it.
where they are.
I hate it. I hate it.
Why do you hate it?
And I hate it because if you look at a lot of these new remakes, they're changing the storyline. You know, like you look back at the Ninja Turtles. When Ninja Turtles came out with the live version, they changed the storyline. You know, the story was not that there was a fire and the medicine did that to them. No, it was the ooze later on after the and I don't know. It bothers me when they change the storylines because it's like I understand you want to be different, but you don't have to change the story to still have a good movie. The Ninja Turtles live version was a good movie. They did not need to change the storyline because everybody that's being a fan of Ninja Turtles since they were kids, everybody knows the story.
Right. Yeah, but you look on that, right? And we'll go to Ghost Kid and Ghost Grumpy after. You only look at Batman. When Batman was originally brought out, of course, saying it was Joe Chill. Joe Chill, of course, killed Batman's mum and dad. Now, when they brought out Batman, with, of course, Jack Nicholson and, of course, Michael Keaton, which by far is my best Batman, let me put it that way. Of course, they changed it. It was Jack Napier. And at the end of the film, of course, Joker says to him in the film, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? And that stuck in Bruce Wayne's head, of course. Then he found out it was the Joker, because the Joker said the same thing. And, of course, they found the records and it was revealed. But then you go to Christopher Nolan's version, it's back to Joe Chill. Joe Chill was the one that killed his mum and dad. I think most films need to keep with the basis of the hard copy. If it's a hard book, you're going to copy the book. Keep with that hard copy. Don't change it. But Kate, what's your take on remakes of films, my brother?
I think it's kind of hard sometimes. So if you look at the recent one that just came out, Roadhouse, I enjoyed the new Roadhouse, but I think at points it kind of struggled to it stayed along that storyline, you know, and that first film, the first Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze. I mean, that's a classic. It was in the Jeff Healey band. That was just absolutely amazing. So I think the music struggled in that video, in that movie. But there was a lot more action in the second one, and with what's his name, Conor McGregor. That dude is just it was just a beast, you know. And then if I think of another one recently came out, and I know, you know, we don't want to go down the Scientology road, but Top Gun with what's his name?
Tom Dickhead Cruise.
Yeah, Tom Cruise. I enjoyed it. You know, in the original Top Gun, what was that, in the 80s? So I think it's been
I didn't like that,
and I really enjoyed it. You know, I any type of plane movie like that, the fighter jets. I mean, I really like that. So I think if it's been long enough, maybe there's a time for it to do another one, and that one's been what, you know, almost 40 years. You know, so
yeah.
There's one that's coming out that I just saw the trailer on that looks interesting. The new Twister, that looked pretty cool to me too. So,
yeah,
there's some of them out there that look great, you know. But like, for example, with Top Gun wasn't really a remake though. It was like a continuation.
Yeah,
that's the thing. And you know something, I like Twister because you look at Twister when it came out. The music that was in it, and of course, like you said in Roadhouse, of course, Jeff Healey band. You look at the music that was in Twister, it was, of course, Van Halen with Human Beginning. Of course, singer at the time, we all knew was Sammy Hagar. Human Nature is a good song. Then, of course, you look at Fleetwood Mac were in it with a couple of songs. They had some very unique music that was in that film. Now, this new film, are they going to use the kind of genre music that we like, or is it going to be this new genre of music which you can't understand? And I like some remakes, but some remakes I don't. I enjoyed watching the Roadhouse. Yeah, I watched the other Top Gun. It kind of took me back to when I originally watched the very first Top Gun, and I always remember I was at my grandfather's house, my granddad Williams, and he got the speakers. It's the very first DVD player, the surround sound, and I'm sitting and you could hear the jets. And he put it up full ball because he was deaf, and all you heard was woof, straight past your ears, and you're like, "Oh shit!" You thought the jets were in the room. It was crazy, and I like that. But I think some of these films,
like when you were when you were 6?
Yeah. Okay, Kate. Yes, I am the youngest of the group, but guess what? Fuck you. But you know something? There's some really great films. I don't agree in flogging a dead horse with the same film. Look at Jurassic Park. Number 1 was good. Number 2 was okay. Number 3 was shit. Then, of course, Jurassic Park World. I watched number 1. It was okay. Number 2 got a bit boring. Number 3, I took Amelia to go watch it. I sat there and I thought, it's the same shit again. Okay, I watched it. But Grump, what's your take on these remakes of films, my brother?
Well, I don't really care for them myself. I'm one of those that, just like with I don't even want to watch the new Roadhouse. I don't even have a desire to watch it because I like the original. I just don't want to see another make of it, you know. And that's just me. And that's just me. But now I will say, there's one pair in the business who have made a half a dozen movies that have the exact same story plot line in them, but they change everything else in it and make it funny and hilarious. And that's Cheech and Chong. No, that's Cheech and Chong. Same storyline every movie. But it's always a different setup and scenario, man. And they were hilarious. And they pulled that off, you know.
Yeah.
But a lot of the remakes, no, and that's like, you know, with Fast and Furious, man, they built an empire on that. But how far can you go with it? I mean,
last part's coming out soon. Last part's
yeah,
coming out.
I mean,
You look at Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy's bringing out another, of course, Axel Foley film. So you're gonna have another Beverly Hills Cop coming out, which is crazy. You look at, of course, when he did Coming to America 2. I don't know, he's back. Of course, Coming to America 2. You look at the films, they keep remaking them to see if they're popular. And I think sometimes they're not popular to keep making a remake. Yeah, I'm going to watch it because I like the Beverly Hills Cop. Eddie Murphy's quite funny, but you know something? I think sometimes they get past it. And I've seen the trailers to the new Bad Boys film. I think after Bad Boys 2, that should have been it. It should have been end of, done. But of course, they made a new one. And it depends on the people, it depends on the audience. Now, of course, we've gone on about remakes of films. What about remakes of music? When someone else brings out a song that we all love, say for instance, of course, Black Sabbath, War Pigs, and somebody does a remake of it, or The Chain by Fleetwood Mac and someone makes a remake. What do you reckon on remaking of other people's music? Do you reckon it's a good thing or do you reckon it's a bad thing? So we'll go with you first, Grump. What's your take on this with music and remakes of music?
There have been people who have actually pulled off a copy, a remake, a cover, whatever term you want to use. There's been people who have pulled one off that is either equal to or better than the original.
Yeah.
I'll give you a few examples. Lenny Kravitz, American Woman. He rocked that out the house, brother.
Yep.
I mean, he tore that up. And then you have when Anna Nancy Wilson did Stairway to Heaven live in front of Zeppelin sitting in the balcony, man. I can't remember the name of that event, but put tears in their eyes. Yeah, put tears in their eyes. You know,
yep.
there are some, like I said, as good, maybe a little better than, but definitely acceptable. And then there's others that got no business even trying. I mean, that's not being mean, not running anybody down. But not everybody can cross in and out and do everybody's music.
Yep.
You know.
That's the thing.
You know,
but that's just my opinion.
I'm a musician myself, and I've been playing since I was like 5 years old, and that's one of my biggest pet peeves is when somebody takes and remakes a song and it just butchers it, and then now you got all these people that think they can sing, but can't sing at all. And I go with it. My wife, she's like everybody else, right? She listens to the radio and whatever's coming up and whatever. And I'm just like, this is garbage.
Yep.
I show her like originals, like you got the what is it, the Fugees, right? The Fugees, very famous song for them, right? Which is the strumming my face with his finger. But
Yep.
she's not even realizing that that's a very, very old song that was, made, like 60, 70 years ago. And so all these people listen to all this music. They don't know where it's coming from. They don't know who sang it first. And it's just like it just ends up being a popularity contest when it comes to music, really.
Yep. What's your take, Kurt, on covers, remakes, or however you want to call it?
I think it belongs in a whole separate category. Other than, I don't think it's the same as remaking a film. I think it's more of a tribute to a brilliantly classic song. And like Grumpy said, if they can pull it off, and a lot of times, you may hear something, it may be familiar to you, but you don't realize. I mean, it's done so well, you don't realize that it's a remake until you actually, figure it out.
Right.
But I think it's more of a tribute to that original song and paying homage to, this was a great song, and it needs to come back. It doesn't need to go away. And plus, you've got a lot of new artists out there that put their own take on it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I think as far as comparing it to movies, it's a total different class.
Yep. Well, here's one for you. And no doubt you probably heard it. It's been on the radio loads of times. So, of course, Sound of Silence. We know when it came out, class song. It was a really good old song. Then Disturbed remade it, and Disturbed brought out their version. And now there's a dance version that, of course, been going all over TikTok. What do you reckon of that version for a remake of Sound of Silence that Disturbed did? I thought it was a different take, and I enjoyed it. I did on that take. But what's your take on it if you've heard it? So, Jess, what do you reckon on that one?
I can't say that I've heard the new version. I'm pretty stuck in my ways. And don't get me wrong, I like listening to new music too. As long as it's up to par. But sometimes I don't know. I kind of stick to the things that I know. I stick to the older music that I really enjoy, that just had feelings.
Yep. What about you, Grump? Have you heard that different version of Sound of Silence? By what Disturbed?
No, I have not. But I have to kind of echo Jess on this because, of course, you know me and my music. I'm like from the '60s, into the '80s, and I cross all the genres. I'm not just in the classic rock country. I even like some of the newer, what they call that, hip hop, country hip hop stuff, whatever, with the lacs and shiners and stuff like that. But basically, mine is the old classic stuff from '60s to '80s across all of it. And my take on it, like I said before, as far as the covers and the remakes and things of that nature, uh, if you're going to bring something out of that generation, I'm stuck in my ways, with what I like as far as my old music.
Okay,
so
before we go with Kurt's take, I'm probably going to get banned for this, but can you hear this?
Yep.
So basically, that there is, of course, Sound of Silence, and that's a bit of Disturbs. Now, don't get me wrong, there is loads, and I remember watching Miami Vice, which was a film, of course. Got Colin Farrell in it. It got Jamie Lee Foxx in it, and I'm sitting there, and the song came on, and I was like, okay. And then all I heard was dum 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 dum, and then I knew straight away that drum solo. It was in the air, and then I'm racking my brain thinking, who did that song? Oh, it's Phil Collins, and it was a good song, and they took it out the ballpark with how they made it, and I enjoyed that. There's a load of different songs that are out, and if you can pull it off, like we said, it's brilliant to pull it off. And Kurt, you might have seen the Disturbed version because I posted it on a post ages back on TikTok. And if you haven't, then of course I don't know what your take is on it. on that.
Yeah, that new Sound of Silence version. I don't know. I've listened to it probably 100 times because for whatever reason, I cannot open up my For You page without having those videos of the Belgian Malinois with the tactical dogs trained, and that's what that song is. Every single one of those. So somehow TikTok has figured out that I'm a dog person. But yeah, that's what I associate that song with now. In modern day, because I love those videos. I love watching those dogs. To be the amount of time it takes to train a canine like that, it's absolutely incredible. And
yeah.
But yeah, I can't open up my For You page on a daily basis without seeing 3 of those.
Yeah. That's the thing. I looked the other day, and of course, I told you guys. Video popped up on TikTok. I'm like, oh, I'll have a look at this. It wasn't no naked women, of course. It was a video of dogs being trained how to drive cars in New Zealand. And I tell you what, this Labrador was driving a car. It shot me. He was driving a car. I'm gonna try to get my dog slain. I do.
You sounded a bit disappointed about the no naked women part. I'm starting to worry about you.
My brother, I hate TikTok. I've been staying away from it, and of course, as anyone knows who followed the Cigar Loons, we used to be on there most nights, but it's changed. It does. But of course, we've come up to an hour. We've come up to an hour and 31 on the show, and we hope you enjoy this. Of course, it's not
your
our
bedtime or
regular.
what?
No, we can go a little bit longer if you want to go a little bit longer.
I will tell you one thing. This right here is not the Sound of Silence, but tonight she's been good. She's been an angel here, but typically she is not
puppy
the
debut.
She's the one that starts the whole pack going.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Well, this is the thing. It's unique that we've been able to talk about cigars. We've been able to talk about the guests, different things that we've seen, of course, films, music. And this is what you'll get if you want to join the Cigar Loons Discord. And like we say, if you go onto our website, which is www.cigarloons.com, look through and you can see the Cigar Loons Discord page. Click on that link and it'll take you direct to our group. And of course, you'll find the likes of myself, Kate, Grumpy, of course, Jess, Matthew, and many other people who are in that group. And you can find us. You can also find our Facebook group, which is Cigar Loons on Facebook. Come and join us on there, and you'll see the content, you'll see the videos of the podcast on there, and different things. And just want to put a big shout out, of course, to Famous Smoke, who's our, of course, sponsor in the United States, and also to our sponsor in the UK, which is gqtobacconist.com. They don't supply, of course, to the United States. It's all over England. But go and check them out if you're in England and you're looking for your finer things of Cubans or New Worlds. Got a lot of New World cigars coming in, so go and check them out. And this is the thing. It's why we get together to talk about cigars, different things, and it makes a good show. But Kate, how was your cigar tonight, which you're smoking, of course, by West Tampa?
I'm down to the nub here. I really enjoyed this cigar. It burned well. Construction was great. It's at the upper end of my range, being a 660. That 60 gauge is about as big as I like to go. But it was very good. Had some fig in the first part, and that continued, with that I had in the cold draw. But very earthy. Had some oak in there and some leather. It was pretty much, kind of even throughout. I didn't really have a lot of elevation and strength as I went through each third. But I would have to smoke another one. I haven't been able to concentrate as much as I normally would, but I've enjoyed this cigar. Very good cigar. And like I say, it's a limited edition. So if you have a chance to pick one up, it would be worth giving one a try.
Grumpy, what about your cigar, my brother? How's yours been smoking?
The Roma Craft, Intemperance, Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper, and Indonesian, Dominican, and Nicaraguan filler. I didn't find anything on binder, but it's a very I want to say there's a lot of earth in there, but it's kind of a an herbal, like a out, like growing your herbs for your kitchen. Kind of got that kind of herbal thing going on with it.
That greenery taste.
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah, a little bit, but and it's kind of a little caramel in it, and kind of like a bread, one of those grain type breads, those 7-9 grain bread things. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of got a little bit of that flavor tone in it, but it's very good. But it's starting to get a little peppery back here on the back end. But it's been a very solid smoke, though. I've enjoyed it. Romacraft.
What about yours, Jess? What about yours?
I love the San Lotano. Uh, and really, you can't go wrong with anything from AJ Fernandez. Uh, but this, I love this stick, and I'm pretty much down to the end of it. And this is a really nutty cigar. It's got nice leather in there, and once you get to the end of it, to the last third, that's when you start getting some of the pepper. But even for a person who might not like pepper, this is really light when it comes to the pepper. Wonderful smoke. I love it. Can't go wrong.
Good. Good
What about
cigars.
you guys?
Jess,
What
you
about
got
me?
that on a pick?
Yeah, he's corn picking.
What's that?
You got that on
Oh,
a
of
pick?
course I got
Oh,
a
okay,
yeah, I
yeah,
got.
Yeah. I put my Viking pick up tonight. I thought I'd go with something easy that was to hand. Of course, my Viking picks are in my chest, nice and safe, and I do like them. And like I say, you can go and check them out at www.vikingpicks.com if you want to go and grab yourself one and check out the podcast, of course, that we did with them. And you know what? Friday night, of course, it's going to be our first collaboration that we're going to be doing on Friday night. So, how you guys feel about that with our first collaboration on Friday?
Yeah, I think it's
I'm
going to
looking
be
forward to it.
pretty interesting.
Yeah, I missed the first one with Darren, so I'm looking forward to connecting with those guys. I think it'll be a good podcast, and it'll be a little different. I think it'll get a little bit deeper, as far as men's mental health and I think those are issues that from time to time need to be discussed and be brought out there. Who knows who you can help? Who's never know what's going on with somebody. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
Yep. What about you, Grump?
Well, I was here for our first one, so getting reacquainted with Darren and then having the other guys too. That's going to be nice and reconnect with him and meet those fellas. Um, like Kurt said, it's going to be different for us because we're going to be discussing a totally different topic than what we have, but it's a topic that needs to be out there.
Yep.
So,
Absolutely.
And it's going to be
yeah,
a little different too. If I don't understand right, we got 4 blokes on those American dudes, right?
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
The, the English against the Americans. How the hell you guys are going to understand 4 people
what
from Stoke-on-Trent?
what
It
do they
takes you your
say?
time to understand me.
Well, my theory on that is that I'll just get a little bit inebriated, and I'll understand you guys just fine.
There you go.
We've had plenty of practice with the Stoke-on-Trent accent.
Yeah.
Or dialect, should I say.
What do we say? It'll be the dog's bollocks. Is that how we say it?
The dog's bollocks, indeed, my brother. The dog's bollocks.
Yes, sir.
You know something? You'll probably get a little bit of Stokey dialect, of course, when we're talking, because it's easy to talk that quick and get it out. And of course, I've gone over it with you guys before, the different dialect and different things. But you know something? It is going to be a unique, different show because we are going to be talking about men's mental health. That's a big subject that most people don't want to talk about. Of course, fathers' rights and different things, and of course about cigars because them guys smoke cigars as well. And of course, when Darren came on, he's a big fan of Oliva cigars. I know, of course, the other two guys, Ben and Grant, they smoke different cigars. So it'd be nice to see what they enjoy in a cigar, and also find a little bit more out about their camping trips, what they have, because I know this weekend Darren's away camping with the guys, and finding out about that and what they do when they're camping. Do they have cigars on the campfire when they're out, or is it just a case of they go hiking and doing different things? But it's all unique, and you know something, this is about what we're doing. We're bringing out different content for people to like, and it's why we call the Cigar Loons. It's why we're doing this, and we hope you enjoy it. And like we said before, please like and subscribe because every like and every thumbs up that you do, that video goes out to someone else to follow, and we appreciate
That's right.
it. And even if you want to grab a T-shirt like Kurt's wearing, go and check out Cigar Loons on, of course, Amazon, and go pick a T-shirt up because that helps towards the podcast and the website, and we appreciate it. Any little help, we appreciate every follow. We appreciate every comment. We appreciate, and you know something, we do this for you guys. We don't do it for ourselves. We do this for you guys to enjoy, and this is what it's about. But you know something, for the Cigar Loon cigar, I gotta say it's a good cigar. If leather, nice bit of black pepper at the end, construction's brilliant, burns brilliant, ash is brilliant, and keep your eyes open. More to come on this. More to come on this cigar. More to come.
Looking forward to it, brother.
Is it, man?
Yeah, man. But of course, we're coming up.
Yeah.
We're coming up in enough 2 hours now, and we'll catch you on Friday. Like I say, 11 p.m. England time. It's going to be 6 p.m. Eastern, and it's going to be, of course, 5 p.m. Central. And then, of course, Jesse's side, it's going to be 2 o'clock. It is. And we'll catch you then on Friday. We hope you enjoy this show. That's being recorded and put out for you. And please like and subscribe, like we say. And we will catch you on the next one. Please stay smoky. Have a great weekend. And we'll catch you on Friday. And from us, big thank you. Catch you soon.
Appreciate it. All right. Hello and welcome to the Cigar Loons podcast. We are the invaders of the cigar world. Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to experience a very, very unique podcast format featuring a